Hello, listeners. This is Kat, and welcome back to Put Your Hands Up Podfics. This will be the reading of a one-shot entitled Make It Everlasting. Here's the summary. Gon has two goals. Finding Jean is only one of them. Marrying Killua is the other. Gon has a goal. Become a hunter. Find Jean. It is a simple goal in theory, not so much in practice. And after? Leorio asks him one day over the phone. Gon is laying on his bed in the room given to him by the Heavens Arena secretary, arms flopped out on the mattress while he stares up at the tiled ceiling. After you find your deadbeat father, then what? Do you have another goal in mind? Gon hums, rolling the question over in his mind. He's distracted by the sound of a crash behind the door to his bathroom and nearly laughs aloud at the string of curses that follow. Gon, you still with me?
Huh? Oh, yeah, I'm here. I'll have to get back to you, though. I think Killua slipped in the tub.
Gon hangs up in the middle of Leorio's sputtering, and he can't keep the grin off his face as he slides off the bed and skips towards the bathroom door. Gon thinks a lot. He's not smart like Killua, or intelligent like Kurapika, or able to bury his nose in a textbook and have the words make sense like Leorio. But he likes to think, in the quiet hours of the morning when it's just him, the birds, and the warm colors of the sky bleeding together and into blue. He goes for a walk the morning after Killua says he'll stay with Gon to find Jean, and he thinks. Finding Jean. It's his goal, the reason he became a hunter. But Killua. Gon thinks about Killua and sees blue eyes alight with mischief, hears snorting laughter, tastes the overly sweet chocolate his friend craves more than the air. Finding Jean is Gon's goal, but Killua, Gon figures with a bright smile, is a worthy distraction. Leorio has gone to rent a car, and Killua is to try to find the troop's hideout when Gon asks Kurapika.
Is killing the Phantom Troop really what you want, Kurapika?
Because he knows that Kurapika misses his family, that killing the troop is revenge, but it's the glowing red eyes that's most important to the blonde, with ghosts in his heart. It's what I need to do, Kurapika answers in that even and calm tone of his. Gon swings his legs underneath the lobby chair, nods like he understands because he does. Some needs are more important than wants. And you? Gon stills, blinking.
What?
Is finding your father what you want? Kurapika clarifies. Or is it what you need? Gon's brow puckers. What he wants? He wants to find Ging. He does. But that was always more of a decision than anything else. He wants to come face to face with the idolized man everyone seems to know but him, so he will. But there's something else, though. A twist and pull at his heart for something that's not Ging. He's not sure what it's for, exactly, or when it happened. But he wants to know why. Why it is that when he thinks of finding Jean, he gets this burning desire for something else. Gon scuffs the floor with his boot, frowning. Finding Jean is his goal. That comes first. The rest will come after. No, Killua grunts and chucks another mass of dirt and rocks over his shoulder. I haven't found out what I wanted to do yet. That's okay, Gon chirps. His voice echoes off the tunnel they've managed to carve through the rock Beatski's making them dig. The activity should exhaust him more than it does, but instead he's just excited. Excited to learn more, do more, be more than he is right now. He has to, if he's going to find Jean. There's a dull thud as Killua's shovel hits a large rock. You know, you sound way too happy to hear that. Gon laughs sheepishly. Killua isn't wrong, and it's both surprising and not to realize that. Well, it's just... He pauses for a moment in favor of beaming brightly at his friend. If you haven't found out what you want to do yet, then that means you'll still be traveling with me, and I'm happy for that. Gon can see Killua's face flush, even in the dark, and the choking noise spilling from his friend's lips only makes his smile widen. Stupid, Killua hisses and kicks a mound of dirt onto Gon's sneakers. You just want me to travel with you forever, don't you? And there it is. the twist and pull. And it's then Gon understands. He does want something, and it doesn't have anything to do with his father, and everything to do with the sweaty and bristling teen at his side. Gon has a goal: find Ging. Gon has a second goal: travel with Killua, learn with Killua, laugh with Killua, stay with Killua, because Killua makes him happy, and he's pretty sure he makes Killua happy too. He hasn't figured out the second goal entirely yet, but he thinks finding Kite is a step in a good direction for finding Ging, and he'll have all the time in the world to figure out how to stay with Killua after that. When Gon pulls the bloody and charred bandages off his face, peels them off his fingers and out of his hair, his first thought isn't Ging, but Killua. His own voice reverberates off white walls and crashes back onto his ears, and Gon's heart twists and pulls because he knows what he wants right now, who he wants right now, and Killua isn't here. Find Ging? Check. Stay with Killua? Still in progress. Oh, Gon. Aunt Mito sighs, hours after Killua and Aluka's boat has left the dock, 4 days after Gon's 16th birthday, 1 week after his best friend arrived on their doorstep with a deeper voice, longer limbs, and a more genuine smile than Gon could remember seeing before. What? Gon's voice doesn't shake, but that's only because he's putting all his effort into not letting it. Killua's absence hurts worse than the time that Hanzo broke his arm, makes him feel worse than when the bomber blew up his hand. He doesn't want to think about how easy it was for Killua to pack up his things and turn his back on Gon, one hand grasped by Aluka's while the other was raised in a wave. He feels Aunt Mito cart a hand through his spikes, but doesn't look away from the dirt path, the last spot he saw Killua's retreating back before he disappeared from Gon's vision for good. If you want to be with him, Aunt Mito says softly, all you had to do was ask him. There's a lot of different ways he could ask Killua if he'd like them to stay together, an 18-year-old Gon thinks. And there are a lot of different ways of being together. He jumps out of his seat with a whoop when Leorio and Kurapika finally part. The crowd roars their approval, and the rings on the wedded couple's fingers gleam in the light of the setting sun. Everyone is crying and smiling and is happy because 2 wonderful people get to stay together from now till forever, and brown eyes meet midnight blue, Gon picking out Killua's elegant face as easily as finding a shell in the sand. Killua's grin widens. It's a smile for Gon and for Gon alone, and the twist and the pull turns into a bubbling, overflowing warmth, and Gon knows. He's known what he wanted for a while, but now he knows how to get it, and the beauty of the answer takes his breath away. Master Wing's gaze is kind and bright as he approaches Gon and Killua from across the room. He has a difficult time. Hunter reunions really do mean every hunter, especially with Zushi practically bouncing at his side from excitement. It's so good to see you boys again, Master Wing says over the loud conversations flowing in the room around them. I'm so glad you were able to make it. Thank you for hosting, Gon says, and his cheeks hurt from the beam on his face. And thank you for training Aluka, Killua adds at his side. She said you're a great teacher, so thanks. It is a joy to have her as a student. The pleasure is all mine. And it is wonderful to have you 2 back in my apartment, although you look much different now than the last time I saw you. You've grown up. They both laugh, Gon scratching the back of his neck while Killua's face darkens and burns. The embarrassed but pleased expression is cute, and Gon can't help but slide his hand into Killua's behind their backs, out of sight. We really have, Gon says. He squeezes Killua's hand lightly and feels his heart swell at the way Killua's fingers tighten around his own. And you completed your goal, you found Ging, Zushi gushes. That's awesome, you 2 are really incredible. Killua snorts, cheeks still dusted pink. Gon found Ging. I never met the guy. I count that as a blessing, though. You'll have to meet him eventually, Killua, Gon says. I'll introduce you if you want. Nah, I'm good for now. I can't promise not to punch your old man in the face if I ever see him. Gon giggles while Zushi looks slightly alarmed and equally confused, and the resulting expression on his face is one of the funniest things Gon thinks he's ever seen. And now? Master Wing asks, forcing Gon and Killua to face him again. Do you have a new goal in mind now that you successfully found your father?
Yep, I've had one for a while, actually.
Out of the corner of his eye, he sees Killua glance at him sharply. He keeps looking straight forward and carefully ignores the dig of blue eyes on his face. He's been following Killua around for years and years now, doing whatever Killua wanted to do. He always insisted he had nothing in mind whenever Killua picked out their destination, but that never stopped Killua from asking. It makes sense that Killua would be confused hearing Gon say this now. Really? That's excellent, Gon. What is it? Gon puffs out his chest and says loudly,
I want to marry Killua, of course.
Zushi makes a squeaking sound at the declaration, and Master Wing blinks several times. The entire mass of hunters around them has fallen silent, and Killua's face is as red as the setting sun, figure stiff, and his hand a vice around Gon's. His grip is borderline painful, but Gon would never in a trillion years think of letting go. A few seconds pass, enough for Gon to wonder if maybe he should have thought of a better time for announcing his and Killua's engagement. But then the crowd explodes into cheers of joy. The shouts and whistles are deafening in Gon's ears. Someone is slapping him on the back, another person ruffling his hair. Everyone is crowding in on him and Killua's grasp is so tight his fingernails dig into Gon's skin. Hours later, after everyone congratulates them and drinks too much champagne, after they finally manage to escape from the party and stumble back into their hotel room. When? Killua growls, pinning Gon to the wall with a single arm.
Were you planning on telling me we're getting married? I think I have a say in this, Gon. Well, I just figured... Figured what?
It's getting harder to breathe with Killua's arm crushing his windpipe, but Gon manages to croak out.
I figured a long time ago that I wanted to stay with you forever. I assumed you wanted to be with me too.
Killua narrows his eyes. Gon can make out his own face reflected in brilliant blue as Killua says,
You make a lot of assumptions, you know that?
Gon swallows and nods. He really hopes Killua will let go of him soon. This position is really uncomfortable, and he wants nothing more than to collapse into bed and hold the person he loves most in his arms.
You're lucky.
Gon's head is swimming.
What do you mean?
Killua shakes his head.
You're lucky your assumptions are usually right.
Gon has a split second to process the meaning behind Killua's words before soft lips are pressing against his, and then Gon doesn't think much at all after that. He found Ging. He has Killua. And Killua is more than everything or anything he could have ever imagined. All right, listeners, this concludes the fic entitled Make It Everlasting. I hope you all like this one. Please let me know your thoughts and reactions in the comments below, because this is the first time that I've taken a step into another fandom other than My Hero, so I figured I'd do another fandom I really enjoy, which is Hunter x Hunter. I just adore this one-shot, so if you all liked it as well, please slide over to AO3, leave comments, kudos, support to the original author. I'm sure it would be much appreciated. And as always, thank you all so much for listening.